I just wanted to cover this because I don't know much about the WWE ID program. I did see, I swear to God, there's a guy in the ID program. His name, his nickname is Evil Gay. So I'm like, is there a good gay to counteract you? That'd be hilarious. He needs to team up with. Has anybody seen Gain, the gay Kane, where he like does this for the fire and then he turns his arms like that, like, and he wears like rainbow colored Kane outfits. It's hilarious. He's one of my favorite Kane ripoffs. They did have Blue Kane for a while, and then they've got Cocaine. It's yeah, stupid but kind of funny. Here we go. Tony Khan responds to the creation of WWE's ID program. Over the past few weeks, WWE has created a new program, WWE ID, which scouts the independents in search of best talent. There was one guy, Cappuccino Jones or something like that, and like his moves are named after coffee. It's kind of funny, but the goal is to create a pathway for independent wrestlers to foster a career in WWE. While it's unclear exactly how this will affect companies like AEW and TNA, reports claim that the contracts have a right of refusal policy, so theoretically, it could stop a talent from appearing in other companies. Well, you take the good with the bad, I guess. Tony Khan says WWE ID is something to keep an eye on in case he wants to threaten more legal action. Let's see. New program he talked about it during the Full Gear media scrum. Quote, it's interesting. I don't really know how it's going to work. I understand there's some kind of right of refusal aspect. We haven't come up where it's been a conflict yet, Khan said. I do think it's going to affect the independent scene in some ways. We've had a really great experience here over the years, bringing in young wrestlers through the pandemic. The best place for independent wrestlers to get work was at AEW and on AEW Dark and Elevation, shows that were watched by a total of like 10 people. As far as how this will change his signing philosophies moving forward, Khan expects to continue signing talent from the independents, but WWE ID is just a different mechanism. Quote, the women and men in AEW, we've seen so many great wrestlers work their way up from the independents. We've signed big free agents, and we have a lot of homegrown day one people. It's a great mix, he continued. I expect we'll keep signing great talent off the independents. I do think it's a different mechanism. It's something to keep an eye on. It hasn't created major conflicts of anything yet, but I imagine it will definitely influence the independent wrestling scene. It's definitely something to keep an eye on. How many times can you say that, man? I get here are some of the ones. 20 independent wrestling stars. They've got Kylie Ray most recently. She was never going to go back to AEW anyway, so that one's not a big miss for them. Hopefully, she's okay in the ring. I haven't seen too much of her, but from what I've seen, she's okay. She does kind of like a old school Bailey knockoff, but I don't know. The independent wrestling fans are gonna be like, "How dare you compare them?" And whatever. They used to scree about that in the past and spurg out anytime somebody made that comparison. Kylie Ray's okay, but hopefully this one actually works out 'cause she leaves everywhere. Um, let's see. Freedom Ramsey, Jack Cartwheel, hell of a name, Jordan Oasis, and many more. As for AEW, they've picked up Bobby Lashley, MVP, and Shelton Benjamin, who are leading the Hurt Syndicate. Let's see. There are reports that former TNA talent Speedball Mike Bailey could debut too. He did not, as far as I'm aware. I don't think he's going to AEW. Could be wrong, but let's see. Is there any? I know. I'm happy for the Hurt Syndicate. I don't think, unfortunately, and everybody goes right to racism, but every company goes through ebbs and flows of who's on top, who they can fit in, and whatever. It just wasn't time for the Hurt Syndicate. I think they could have did some good work against the Bloodline if they were still there, but they're doing good in AEW so far. I think that's where they belong for now. It's a good place for them. They may end their careers there. They may not. I mean, Shelton and MVP are pretty old. Not that Bobby's a spring chicken, but